thought it was appropriate to start today's morning routine with some Matt Reyes. Just show how he flows effortlessly through traffic on one wheel. I changed the thumbnail. Good morning from Brooklyn. Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, to be exact. I got me an extra large cold brew to start the day off. Little Matt Reyes, POV, to start the day off. This is one of the first times I was experimenting with POV with the Rilo and GoPro footage mixed together. Once all this lockdown madness is done, I don't know, we're gonna go with the flow. It's kind of what we've been doing. Evening routine, I don't know. You didn't have to buy my coffee, man. Thank you. I actually did go to a coffee shop to get this. There's a coffee shop on the way. I appreciate it. Sorry for the confusion on the start time yesterday. I know it's trying to keep this a routine with a schedule. 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern time. The exception of when I have guests on the show, especially when they're in California or the West Coast. I gotta do it later just because it's too early for them. So we started Matt's 12 yesterday. That was 9 a.m. for Matt. So we got number of notches, Peter Harrell, Andrew Bell, Drift King, Graham, all the homies in the chat. What up? Yo, Drift King, when I did the raffle for the GoPro, you were the one that was talking about just wanting the NDs, right? Let me know. What up, what up? Eric Weir in the house. Starting the morning with some Matt Reyes. Figured we finished yesterday with some Matt Reyes, so we'd start with a little Matt Reyes. How about once a week doing an evening routine? I like that. I can get with that. All right, Drift, I got you. DM me your address and everything, and I'll send it out to you. Swish Buckets in the house. Ramen needs an ND8. Man, if I had an extra one, I would give it to you. For a GoPro Hero 6 or 7. Yo, Mike, look at that. There's a shot of me. You could tell it was summertime there. Damn. Some people asked me about a group ride, like meeting up with a bunch of people and riding. That'd be cool. Maybe a celebration when there's some little more normalcy left or back in the world. That'd be cool to meet up, a bunch of us. Yo, Graham, bring your bike.
Right here.
Michael Kelly, what up? We got Gotta Speed in here. My favorite troll.
This is your fakie opportunity. Yeah.
Henry knows how to stir up the random people who show up to the chat. I love it. I forgot all about this video, honestly. I didn't really know what I was gonna do with Matt. I was like, yo, let's do a hotline, and he was like, yo, that's not really my style. And I was like, well, you know, they don't have a style. Like, you can ride as chill as you want. So that's kind of how this video started. We were just kind of mellowing out, and then I started experimenting with this music. I was feeling it. This video is called Giving Cyclists a Bad Name. It's a little over a year old. It's got some views. If I retitled it and changed the thumbnail, I bet you it would get some more views. If I named it like Hotline Matt Reyes or something, it would change. I got some updates on Hotline stickers. I just ordered a huge stack. I just spent pretty close to $1,000 on stickers. It didn't feel very good doing it, but you know, I know that, you know, I need to order more, so, and I'll get the money back eventually. It's like a savings account, hopefully. He's riding a MASH, the steel bike, so. I don't know if I'm gonna play this video all the way out. It's like 25 minutes long, it's crazy. What else do I have some updates on? Some of you who might have ordered stickers a long time ago and already received them, you might have got a notification that stickers are being shipped to you again. There was a mess up on my end of things. So hopefully we'll get, I won't mess that up and not send someone stickers. That'll be kind of messed up, but I got, what do I got? 65 envelopes here, ready. The printer's working again. That's good. So I can send out the stickers. I can send out the GoPro, and you know, since I'm back here at the studio, I can really take care of some stuff.
Take it right.
Look at that, it's Ed Wonka, everybody. Ed motherfucking Wonka. Yo, Hotline stickers for the new bike. Man, I got you. They're coming. The problem with the stickers is it takes them a long time to finally arrive. They're silk screened, so they're really best quality stickers that I've ever had made myself. So they're all silk screened and then die cut, and they're transparent. So it just takes a long time, and the company's kind of small, but they do a really good job. So I just stick with those guys. I get my stickers done at Sticker Robot. If you guys are interested. Good morning, Lee, Greta, William, Caustic. I was looking at the channel memberships. Man, the channel memberships, the channel family members has grown so much. It's crazy. I think there's a little over 100 channel members. It's super cool. I never thought that would be a thing. So I appreciate all of you who are helping out. Ooh, it's windy. It's windy. Good morning, Dan. Thank you. Whoa. What else can I ramble on over this video before I show my face? I'm gonna do a little bike check, a live bike check. Some of you who've been here a while don't ask for those anymore. But it seems like some new people to the channel always ask for them. So I got my Affinity Low Pro behind me. We're gonna talk about it. I'm also free to talk about a project that I was gonna do with a company called Boosted Boards. If you guys are familiar with that company, they are now have halted all operations. I don't know if that means they're out of business.
We got the green light, boys.
But yeah, I guess I could talk about some of that, because you might see a video from me and you're gonna be like, what the why are you doing this? This isn't a bicycle. But it might be fun to rip around. Kind of scared of those little things that they sent over to me. Talk about that. I guess I am gonna let this video. Am I gonna let this video end? I don't know. Dimitri's saying Boosted gave too many free boards to Casey. That's partially true. That's not why they went down. They were having the whole thing with our government over here was putting a bunch of there was like a tariff war going on with China. If you guys know about that, last year, the year before. So because of it, oh, you got a flat tire. Because of it, all their distribution and manufacturing in China, prices went way too high. Oh, down went Wonka. I like this part. Dude, I was so sick. Yo, where the hell did I find this music? It's so good. I'm really into it. Robin is asking if I'll ship merch to Germany. I personally handle the stickers, but the t-shirts and all that stuff is handled by another third party. So if you go through and try to order it and it says they'll ship it to you, then they will. The tennis ball and the spokes is just a style thing. It goes way back. I remember being a kid and sticking a tennis ball in my BMX bike, 20-inch wheel. Like, it's just kind of like I don't know. People used to do it. So I don't know if you caught yesterday, he had some custom-made Wheel Talk tennis balls, which is pretty rad. So we're popping into the Chrome store. This is where we use Chrome to charge our batteries. Batteries charged. Now we're back out. The new Hotline shirts that are pinned in the chat right now. Those are the new shirts that are kind of there to kind of like the B team of the merch. I'm gonna slowly start removing the other options from Teespring because we're gonna start manufacturing and printing from here in New York, and so there's more quality control. You guys have heard me talk about some of the quality issues I had with some of the Teespring stuff in the past. It doesn't do printing well unless it's a one color and really blocked out. So that's why the new Hotline shirts are kind of blocked out like that. The original OG script, like the sticker, the Hotline logo, that did not print well at all. So we're gonna redo it and make sure that it prints well, and I'm proud of it. The only things I'm gonna leave in the Teespring store are probably some new face skaters, maybe some bandanas. You know, you need face masks this day and age, so we're working on getting those out real soon. And then that new Hotline shirt and the Hotline beanie that's embroidered. So, Showed. Yo, you sent me an email a couple days ago. I don't think you were on stream. I addressed it on stream about the RX-0 and disassembling it for FPVs. Sorry I didn't respond. It's because I just responded live. I should have wrote you back to tell you. I don't think you were on there. I didn't see you. It was last week sometime. I'm a little nervous to take an RX-02 apart. I'm very familiar with stripping down the GoPros for FPV drones. Thanks for sharing the link though, because it kind of gives you a step-by-step guide, which is rad. I have some friends who are into that. I'm trying to collaborate with them. It's kind of hard right now with everything going on, but it would be cool to get them to film some cycling stuff, maybe upstate, where there's less people won't get hurt. I'm not a fan of the face mask either, but I'm about to show you when I reveal my face. I have a friend in San Francisco. I just ordered a shirt from him, and I actually ordered a bandana from him like last year or 2 years ago, and now I wear it every day. Because you gotta, in New York, there's a law. If you're outside, you gotta have a face mask on right now. I don't know if I told you that. What is going on with my filming here? I'm just leaving in all this raw stuff. Tim, good morning. Shut, I'll respond to the email, but yeah, it was a few days ago I talked about it. I was like shouting you out and saying thanks for sending the email by. I think I responded the day I saw the email. I think it was right after you sent it. I did it that morning routine, so. Greta, they're more like neck gaiters, like cycling neck gaiters, so. Those are gonna be on the store very soon. In New York, if you're outside and you're next to somebody and you don't have a face mask, they can actually give you a ticket. Kind of crazy. Boom, 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 boom. I actually love the way someone was mentioning about the flashes from the sun. I love the angle of the sun this time of day with the camera backwards just because of this look. I had no idea how close they were to me. When I was filming this, I was kind of just charging. I got the footage back, like the train going by, the way the sun flashes between the bridge pillars. It's pretty epic. I think I remember this part though. I think I slow down for him and then Matt does a wheelie all the way down. Yep. This part's really cool. You guys familiar with the cycling gaiter? That's what I use as a face mask. It's just a big long, it's like someone got a turtleneck and they just cut the long sleeve shirt part off and left the neck. Yeah, I'm actually riding backwards down this, you guys.
So we bring to a close the story of rigid control through the unceasing research and...
All right. Look at that. What's up? Good morning. Welcome. I feel like you guys already knew what was going on because I was jammering and yammering on the whole time. Got my coffee. Hopefully you guys get your coffee. This thing's Drinking like coffee shop cold brew compared to the stuff I've been drinking over the last couple weeks. This shit is, I'm like amped right now. It's crazy. First order of business. I was talking about my friend Jason. I'm gonna pull up his thing real quick. I think it's, let me see. I should have pulled it up before this. Sorry. He's got a funny Instagram. Let me pull it up. This is his handkerchief thing that I use as a face mask. I just kind of pop it like this. It's kind of grungy and dirty, but it's got all these illustrations on it. It's got like a spider web, like a switchblade, smiley face cherries, bullet holes. I don't know what that is. A fly. These are all things that he kind of doodles with a Sharpie. It's like an all-over print. I'm into it. Let me see. His website is, oh, here we go. Jason M. Dog. That's great. Yeah, here we go. I'll share this screen with you guys so you can see. I want to give him a plug because he makes really strange things for no rhyme and reason, and I think it's rad. He makes whatever he wants. For example, this photo here on the landing page of his store, this is a huge die, like to play dice on. I don't know if you guys play dice or anything. It's very expensive. Let's look at this real quick. He wants $2,500 for this thing, but it's like one of a kind. But check it out, it's so well made. You flip over the top. He also works in like custom wood. He does like custom carpentry work for like really fancy houses in the Bay Area. So this is what he made in his shop. It's all painted. You flip it over, it's got felt. It's all sanded and soft. So you can throw dice on it. Oh, it's fucking cool. You can also stash your weapons in there. See, he's got his little like ninja climbing thing, his little cockroaches. I'm into the aesthetic. Anyways, so that's the dice, but let's check out the this is the bandana that I bought right here. So I'm gonna type it in the chat real quick. So it's easy. I hit the microphone. So it's easier to click it. I don't know why it's not a link, but there it is right there. It's pretty rad. This is the one I'm wearing this one right here. It's just unique and different, and it's like he makes it himself, and I don't know. I like to support friends and people who are doing their own shit, you know what I mean? And then, look at this fucking thing. I don't even know what this is. It's just an acrylic razor that's 12 inches by 7.5 inches. Like what? He just does what he wants. It's rad. And then I'm wearing this shirt right now. Dark bright, negative positive. So yeah, I just got this shirt in the mail yesterday, so check it out. It's so bright. It's so bright. Anyways, if you guys are interested in any of this, I dropped the link to where you can get it and all that in the chat. And, you know, if you do buy something from him, just message him, be like, yo, Terry B sent me over here. Look at that. All right, what else do I got? Let's talk about the bike. I gotta switch mics here real quick though. Hello. There we go, okay. We got 2 mics today. I got one under here, and then I had one up here. This one sounds better. This one sounds not as good, but this one's wireless, so I can talk about my bike. We're gonna do a little bike check. Bike check 1, 2. So some of you were wondering about this bike. Actually, I'm gonna change the focus so the focus doesn't pop around all fucking crazy. There we go. I'm learning, see? Now I'm on autofocus, or I'm on manual focus. Okay, so this is the Affinity Low Pro. Let me know if I need to like zoom in or zoom out. Should I zoom in a little bit? I'll just do that. There we go. This is the Affinity Low Pro. This is the bike that I film, my single speed, that I film most of the Hotline stuff on since September. So some of you want to know a little bit about it. It's the large size that they make. So I think it's only a 57 top tube here, and then it's longer up here. I think it's a 60 here. So it's Pursuit, so you don't need, there's not a lot of seat posts that shows. Go out. There we go. Not a lot of seat posts because the bike is, you know, at a pretty crazy pitch. I have a 130 stem. This is a 130 Thompson stem. It's the 4-bolt pattern. A little heavier, but I prefer the 4-bolt over the 2 for the road just because of the kind of riding that I do on this bike. I like to fuck around and bump into shit and try to ride backwards and shit, so the 2-bolt will slip after a while. That's the Thompson mountain bars, and it's 130, and I'm running this is the longest stem I have on any of my bikes, and the reason why it's a 130 on this bike, because the top tube is slightly too short for me, so the 130 makes the fit better. So just keep that in mind if you guys ever get one of these low pros. Because it's Pursuit, the traditional way that a bike normally fits is slightly different. These are Thompson titanium flat bars. This was kind of working with Jason with Affinity, him, you know, getting me this bike and riding and repping this brand. One of the perks is that he is kind of, you know, has some ties to Thompson, so that's why I got the Thompson bits on here. So got the new Thompson bars, got the new Thompson titanium seat post on here as well. These things just came out like right after the summer, like fall or so. So he got some of that stuff and was like, yo, you want to put this on your bike? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Thompson little seat collar on there. And then for, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. And then I'm running this frame has a bottle cage on it, which I actually like. There are times when I'm riding my number 22, my track bike, and I wish it had a bottle cage, just to have water when I'm, you know, riding that bike into a dark hole of vomiting, which I normally do when that's kind of what I say when I ride my track bike. I kind of just ride it super hard at the park with a big gear until I'm about to throw up, and I wish I had water on me sometimes. So usually I carry water in my jersey pocket, but times when I don't even want to wear a jersey, you know, I have nowhere to put my water. So this bike, I'm glad it has it on it. I usually have a water bottle ready, something in there. You know, I can make my Pro Pep juice. It's the pep in your step, Gatorade and Red Bull mixture. It's patented. It's highly scientific. It really works. And then I have, these are Omniums. They're SRAM Omniums. And these are just typical track cranks. A lot of people run them. I bought these cranks years ago, and they're still running. In fact, back in the day, I don't know if you can see this. No, it's out of frame. God damn. Back in the day, when I was doing tricks on track bikes, I was experimenting. I'm always experimenting with things. I kept ripping the leather toe strap. Like, I didn't like toe clips, and I was trying to make something that was just the strap without the toe clip, because I have kind of big feet and it was an issue. So I used metal, like plumber's tape basically, as straps for a while when I had these cranks. And there's still rub marks from the plumber's tape on the cranks. They're so old that, is this cracked? Uh-oh. They're so old, they look like they're cracked. Anyways, yeah, these are worn down, really, really worn and used, which I like that. Up front, for gearing, this is a 50 tooth, so I got a 50-17, yeah, it's a 50-17. Normal gearing for New York is a 49-17 for a track bike. So this is just one tooth bigger, just a little bit bigger. It's fine for city stuff, but if I was to go film like, you know, like when I filmed Mario, he was riding a bigger gear. When I filmed in Russia, I had issues with a few people because they push massive gears over there because it's so flat and long and straight. It's just different kind of riding. So it works for most places. When I was in San Francisco, I had the 50 up front, but then I had I think I had an 18 in the back or 19 in the back. So a little bit bigger, spinnier for the climbing that I had to do there. So just, you know, change it up depending on where you're at. Gearing is not, that's the thing they say about single speeds, at least in mountain bikes, you're always in the wrong gear, always. So you're always trying to figure it out. It's either too spinny or too hard. So make it work for, you know, the majority of your riding. And then on the brake side of things, yes, there's brakes on here. I have these old Shimano shifters. They're like the $20 set that come with cables and brakes for 20 bucks or 30 bucks or something. They're extremely cheap. I don't know the name of them. I got them years ago. Obviously the housing, the cables have been replaced over the years. I still have the levers. The brake calipers themselves have broke. So I'm using Shimano levers with SRAM red calipers. And these SRAM red brakes came off of my old road bike that I had a carbon TCR that broke. So all my newer bikes, more modern bikes are disc brake now. So of course, these are all hand-me-down, just parts that have come down off the other bikes, and they wound up on this. I would say SRAM red brakes are pretty damn good to have on your everyday bike. They stop me, they slow me down. What else can I say? Oh, these lights. These lights are something to mention. I have them in my Amazon affiliate link if you want to check them out. The reason why I like them is they're nog lights. So the thing I have an issue about bike lights is that normally you have to like take a thing off, and then like in New York, I take my lights off my bike all the time, every time I lock my bike up, because things get stolen here pretty easily. So what Nog did was they just have this little magnetic clip, and I've never lost one. They stick pretty well. So if you just take this part off, this part stays on your bike, and it's no longer a light, it's just like a clip. And it's just held together by rubber, but it doesn't look like anything. And if someone steals that, they're a dick. But it's not worth anything to anyone, so I've had no issues. So I take this off, and then I have my lights, and it's tiny, it's this big, you know. And then if you check this out, let's see, this, when it comes to charging it, look at that. You take this off and you just plug it right into any USB thing. And it's that easy. It charges like a regular USB thing, whatever that means. So I have that one on the back, and then I have this one on the front here. And then I have a spur cycle bell. You like that? It's still going. It's still going. Best bells, best bells. Not sponsored, not an ad. They just work, and they're expensive as hell. They're like $60 for these bells, but they work great. Oh, I had a comment about these bells before. They were like, Terry, why do you put your bell backwards and not forwards? The reason why I do that on this bike is because I lock this bike up all the time. And when it's up on top, sometimes your bike's locked up, and then someone else will come and fucking lock their bike all crazy on yours, and their bars will smash the bell, and it'll start to deteriorate the like rubber spacer in there every time the bell gets moved around. So I'm just protecting it by putting it on the inside, because if I had it up over here, it would be sticking up on top. Also, sometimes when I get a flat out on the road, I flip my bike all the way upside down like a BMX bike. It's just an old bad habit, and it protects the bell that way too. So for the saddle, this is just a Ritchie Comp. Honestly, I hated this saddle when I first got it, and I didn't think it was very comfortable, but it's grown on me because I like flights. I would rather have a flight on this bike. Flight saddles are my favorite, but I didn't have any extra flights at the time, so this is what I had extra. This came off of my, what did this come off of? My Ritchie Outback. I had it on my Ritchie Outback for a second. And as you can see, like what I said about the long stem on this frame, you can see that I'm way past the maximum point on my saddle, like way past it. It shouldn't be this far pushed back, but I'm doing that to give myself room on the bike because, again, this top tube is a little short for me. The seat tube is my size, but the top tube's a little short, so I have it pushed back and this pushed forward to give me more room on the bike, making it fit a little better for me. And that's it. That's the bike. Oh, the wheels. The wheels are just generic Tijon. He does Honey Wheels here in Brooklyn. Super sick. He built these wheels back when he worked at Deluxe Cycles. These are just Belgium Pluses, HE head Belgium Pluses to regular like Formula hubs. So they're deluxe branded like blank hubs basically. I don't know, that's it. Oh, one more thing. I've also had people ask about the cable housing here. This is a Yokohama housing. It's super stiff, and by having a really stiff brake housing, it makes your brakes work really well. This brake lever doesn't work very well because it's so old, but if I had a nice new brake lever, it just makes them feel really snappy. So I have one in the front. I used to have a rear as well, but because of the frame, this frame has internally routed, a rear internally routed brake cable. One of the really sick things about this bike, in my opinion, is that the cabling, let me see, I can just rotate this for you guys. Look at that, we're on wheels, baby. I'm gonna get a nice little zoom in on this feature that I'm talking about, hopefully. See the red housing right here? It goes into the frame. And these bikes are, normally they don't have any brake holes on them at all in the States. But because I got this one in Japan, and they have laws about brakes in Japan, they made a special version just for the Japanese market, and this is where I got my bike. It's kind of why I got this one when I was in Japan. Jason talked to the guys over at Blue Lug, and the guys at Blue Lug helped me get this together, and then Tommy helped me build it up. And this is what happened. This is what came of that. Let's see. Terry Juice, the Terry Juice, that's right. Let me switch microphones here. Does that sound better? I don't know. I know it sounds better. I can't see. There we go. So, Yokozuna, that's right. Thank you for that. Yokohama, Yoka something. All right, so I'm gonna catch up on the chat. Let's see. I guess I can do it on this screen here, huh? This is my share the screen. Here we go. I have to turn this shit off though. Nice. Okay. I can't read this. I'll read it from over here. Graham's got the same rub marks on his Omniums. Yeah, those nog lights are the shit. Don't lock your bike and you won't lose anything. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true, Harry. I don't. There are I have a few bikes, and this is the bike that sees the U-lock. The other bikes, I try not to lock ever at all. I will never, ever lock my 22s up anywhere, really, you know? Like, I get worried when I get coffee. Like, if I'm leaving the house with a U-lock and I have, like, one of my drifter or even my little wing, I'm like, what am I doing, you know? That's not a good move. Anyways, yeah, but this is my more of a everyday bike, and I think it's important to have a bike, even though this bike has a bunch of nice stuff on it. You should have a bike that you're feel okay about locking up. And when I do a U-lock lockup here in New York, or even when I was in SF, I think I've said this before, it's all about perception, in my opinion. If I was to be a bike thief, if I jumped in the psychology a little bit of the mind of a bike thief, if I saw a bike that was locked up with 2 U-locks on it, and when I do 2 U-locks, I do one through the rear, the seat tube and the rear wheel to whatever I'm locked up to, and it's a really tight lock, and I use the small lock, so let me see. I use kryptonites, and I use, right now, I think this is a Bulldog. These aren't that good of a lock. The kryptonites are a little better because they have the little hook on it. I mean, if someone wants your bike, they're gonna get your bike. So that's why the perception thing. I use 2 U-locks. I use one through the rear. I do this. Where's my keys at? We're gonna do a whole thing on locking up your bike. So if I'm like near something, the bar's here, I go through the post, whatever that is, and then I get my frame and my rear wheel all together in one go. And then with the second U-lock, I go through here and here. See what I'm saying? So I have one down here, and then I have one over here. So both of my wheels are locked, and my frame has a lock on it in 2 places. It's only locked to a bar in one spot, like a sign or whatever. And I think it looks the craziest that way. And if I was a bike thief and I saw that, even if I wanted that bike the most, if I saw 2 locks, I'd be like, well, that might take too much time. Let's go fuck with this other bike, you know? So that's what I think. But it's cool. You should have a bike that you shouldn't be too afraid to lock up. It's important, man. Um, Low Cut is very active on the new mic. Damn, you're good, Ramen. It's this mic is running through a Zoom recorder, and I'm still getting some. I don't know if you guys can hear it on your end, but I can hear like a little bit of noise, and it's coming from because it's plugged into the Sony's preamp. I have the volume turned all the way down, but it's still just a little bit of preamp noise, unfortunately. So yeah, good on you for knowing that. Legally, apparently in New York, there is a law that you need a bell. I've been rocking bells on my bike before I moved to New York, though. And it came from mountain biking first. It's important to have something to make some noise on the trails in California because they're way more active with people running around on them. And if you're hauling ass on a mountain bike, it's a lot easier to just hit your bell, bing, 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 before you're hitting a corner than being like, yo, 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 when you're out of breath or whatever. So that's why I had bells. And then I started putting them on all my bikes. What's the chat say? The live, yeah, when I did that live stream from that was the 420 race that was about to happen. Yeah, they arrested the promoter. So I wasn't gonna do a live stream. I just started filming because the cops, I just knew they were up to no good. They were doing some bullshit. They were like at the start of the race, being like good cop, bad cop. And then they started arresting people and then taking their bikes for not having bells, which was insane. What's your preferred frame material? I like the number 22s. I like the titanium stuff right now. That stuff, obviously, it sounds stupid. And why I like it, I think it's lighter than steel. It rides similar to steel, except for it's, at least modern titanium, it's just as stiff when I'm putting power down on the pedals, but I feel like it sucks up road chatter even better than steel. And no to carbon because, nothing against carbon. It's just like if I'm paying for carbon, I know that that's only a loan. It's like a short-term loan on a bike frame, in my opinion, because that carbon's not gonna last forever. It's got a shelf life, where I see titanium and steel lasting, lifetimes, as long as you don't, crash on it. Reading the chat here. Journey to the Jack, welcome to the channel, man. Thanks for joining along. These morning routines are something new with everything going on in the world, so just kind of going with the flow. This is what I thought we should do, or I should do, to help. I don't know. I make video stuff, so I thought, why don't I just share a little bit about myself every day and hang out with people. So it's been going well. Thanks for joining. Harrison Corthell, looking into a beater bike. What do you recommend? If you have anything spare, like an old bike, I would say that first, or something used. You know what I mean? A beater bike, in my opinion, is something you shouldn't buy new. I don't have a beater bike. Oh, I do have a beater bike right now. Should I go get it? I'll go get it. Let's see. I'll be right back. You guys are... Let me take this down too. Ta-da! Rah! Oh my god. It's so heavy. There we go. Alright. This is my beater bike. This is a frame that I got, a frame and fork. This is actually a cool old fork right here, Alpina. This is an old IRO. You might say, that's not a beater. Well, it looks like a beater because of the paint, right? But my friend had this at his house and he was throwing it away. So my other buddy, who was visiting at the time, was like, oh, I'm gonna take it and build it up. And then he brought it to my house and left it in the hallway. And then he didn't live in New York. He moved, he went back to California and just left this in my hallway. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? So I had a beater at my house. So I was like, well, I gotta do something with it. So this is what I'm doing with it. It's been looking like this since I got it, basically. But basically, what this is an IRO. Fun fact, one of my first purchases was this exact frame. This is some aluminum IRO. And it was made more to be a single speed. The geometry, as you can see, it's really slack in the rear end. There's a lot of space here. And it has brake holes on it. What I want to do with this bike is, you might ask yourself, what the fuck is this rear wheel? Well, this is an electric assist. It's a pedal assist rear wheel. And this company called Super Pedestrian, I was talking to one of the marketing guys there a long time ago. He sent this over. I tried it, and they wanted me to film kind of like a hotline with it, and I tried, and the way that this big thing, it's super heavy. There's like a battery, and all kinds of other things in here that make it pedal for you. It's just so heavy, when you like cut through traffic, it feels like you're on a boat. So I'm basically building a whole bike around this wheel, and it's gonna be like the grocery getter. The only thing is, it's so heavy, like I don't want to bring it up any stairs or anything, you know? So I'm gonna put a brake on the back, brake on the front, put drop bars on it with hoods and everything, and slap whatever cranks I can get to work on there, make it work, and then maybe a rear rack as well. And this will be the grocery getter, and I have ideas on making videos of like being fully loaded down and just passing people on the climbs and on the bridges just to fuck with people. I don't know. It's been sitting in the back for a while. It's a piece of shit. Let's get this out of the view. Let's go back to this bike. So that's what I would say. Use whatever bike you can get your hands on as a beater. See what the chat says. Looks like there's a conversation. U-locks can seize up if you leave them out in the rain. Yeah, the keyhole, you gotta make sure it's well lubricated. Yo, we were just talking shit. I was just talking shit. The friend who left this bike in my hallway and moved to California, he's in the chat. Ulysses O. Ulysses O, give the man a round of applause. He's the friend who I said took this bike from my other friend's house and left it in my hallway and then went to California. He's in the chat right now. What up? What up, Brian? Ulysses O? Nolan Morris, what is a Pursuit bike? Pursuit is a type of racing. I think they have Road Pursuit as well. It's a style of track racing and road racing, and the bike normally, some of them have like a smaller front wheel and a rear big wheel, and they're trying to catch up. It's a style of racing. I don't know if they still do it. I don't think they do. They're crazy. They're like slammed, like trying to be as aero as possible. What else we got here? How do you feel about cantilever brakes? Cantilevers are, if it's on an old bike and that's what you got, use it. And if you're gonna do it right and get some pawls on there, and then just put on some mini motos. That's what I would say. What else we got? Steel bikes too heavy to go brakeless. No, they're not, dude. Track bikes have nothing on them. Like, it's a light bike. Made of steel, made of concrete. It'd still be light. There's nothing on it. Did you see the new Ritchie Outback? Did you enjoy yours? I haven't. There's a new Ritchie Outback? Let's see. Let's check it out. Ritchie Outback. Oh, they changed the. What do they do to it? Oh, there's tabs on the top now. Oh, and on a fork. It's more of like an adventuring thing, I see. You can put bags on the anything. It's got the triple, what's it called? It's got 3 mounts on the fork, so you can like slap it down with all kinds of stuff. Oh, and 650B. Okay, that's cool. I really liked my Outback. I did. I just didn't have a reason to have two when. So I got the Outback because I did video work for Ritchie a while back. And then, so I got the Outback because of that. And then I had to put a little bit of money into it to have a complete build. And then once I did that, I rode that for about 6 months. And then number 22 asked me to do a project for them. So I did that. And then we did a trade. And that's how I got the Drifter. But then to build the Drifter up, I still needed a little bit of money. So I sold the Outback because I didn't need an Outback and the Drifter. They're very similar bikes. So I sold the Outback to someone here in New York who I run into sometimes, which is cool. And then, yeah. You didn't ask me that, but I'm telling. What else? Yeah, I love the Outback. It was cool. Any affordable gravel wheel set you recommend? Daniel Rodriguez is asking. Gravel, here's the thing about gravel. Take that wording out of your vocabulary. You can use, I have a mountain bike wheel set on my gravel bike. My original gravel bike was a Greg LeMond titanium road bike from the mid to late 90s. Like, you don't need you can use any wheels. Just any wheels that'll work on whatever bike you're calling a gravel bike. Use those wheels. I don't really have any gravel, in my opinion, is just a kind of a word to help sell some stuff, but like wider road wheels work just as good. I don't know. What else we got? Rich City TV, any upgrades on your rides or your setup? No upgrades. I'm thinking about, I might be getting rid of my Santa Cruz Highball. I might be selling it. So we'll see what's up with that. Yeah, we'll see. I want to get a new mountain bike. Want me to show you the mountain bike? Yeah, let's show you the mountain bike. This is what I want to get. I rode this bike when I was in LA recently. My buddy has one. Here we go. This is what I want. This is a straight up mountain bike. Can I? There we go. This is an aluminum full suspension bike. Right now I have a hardtail. I know that a lot of you don't ride mountain bikes. So getting into suspension and stuff, like I still don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Like I don't know why some bikes have springs and some bikes have shocks. Like I'm still learning about that stuff. All I know is that I rode this bike exactly how you see pictured, except for the rear shock there was a shock, not a spring. In the picture, it's a spring. And I loved this bike. It felt so good. So this is what I'm trying to get. Also, the price point is right. And you guys might think I'm crazy, but they're selling this complete bike as it sits right here for $3,000. Well, with that spring, it's like, I think it's like $3,100. But this is what I really want to get. So it's aluminum, which is important to me for a mountain bike because I crash a lot. I still crash. And going back to the talk about someone talking about carbon, yeah, man. If I had a carbon mountain bike, that shit would break. If not even like me crashing into something, it's more like me jumping off my bike and then like my bike falling sideways down on a rock. You know, those are the kinds of things where carbon is scary to me. So this one's made of aluminum. It's heavier, but who cares, right? I don't care anymore. It's got, 147 millimeters of travel in the rear and 160 in the front. So, and it's a 29er, which I'm all about it. If I was to get this one, I would get this color here. It's like they call it like red Savina. It looks more like an orange to me. But yeah, this is kind of, you get this with this build here. It's $3,000 right there for a brand new bike. So that's what I'm looking at. It's an Ibis Ritmo AF. Excuse me. If you guys are curious. Vlad, I'm back at the studio. That's correct. I have some work here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing a morning routine. Again, the morning routines are 10 a.m. Eastern time. So it's like 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sorry, it's so early for you West Coasters. But that's what I'm trying to do. And then after that, I'm doing a job here to help Affinity. They're broadcasting a virtual trade show. He's showing off his new bikes. I did a test earlier in the week. Is that earlier in the week? Yeah, it was, or maybe it was last week. He's doing a virtual stream to a bunch of cycling magazines and media people. Basically, because of this whole thing that's going on in the world, a lot of the cycling trade shows are not happening, so they're happening virtually, and that's kind of the setup we have here. Is this is set up in a way for him to do his little talk, and that's what I'm using behind me with the stand and the lights and everything. So, yeah, that's why I'm at the studio. What else? Yeah, anything else going on here? Get a used 29er mountain bike wheel set for your gravel bike. Yeah, if it fits with the spacing, the hub spacing, you're good to go. It is cheaper than a Yeti. I'd love to get a Yeti, but I'm not a doctor or a lawyer. It's also a weird time to be just buying a mountain bike and like you're spending $3,000 on something. So that's why I'm like up in the air about it. Graham, the spring, it's for big hits. It's when you take big drops on a spring, it's smoother through the transition all the way to the end, apparently. Whereas a shock goes down, and as it gets closer to like maxing out, it gets hard. So a spring, it doesn't get hard at the end. I think it's called progression or something. I'm still learning, so I don't know. But I think you're saying the same thing. Number of notches. Could you do a video with your crashes, outtakes, etc.? That would also be interesting. Yeah, I don't have, honestly, there's not a lot of crashes and stuff. There's only a couple, and there's, yeah, I would have to dig through. I would have to go and watch a bunch of my videos and then like pull clips that way, I think. Cannondale Habit is a good bike for sure. What do you think of the type of riding you need full suspension? Dimitri's asking. I've been doing a lot of work building trails. There might be a video one of these days of that, and it's basically just going to be the camera pointing at the dirt and ASMR of just dirt being tossed and slapped and thrown around. Not a lot of talking, so I've been watching a lot of that kind of like trail building videos on YouTube lately. But there's some stuff that I want to hit that I'm kind of pushing my fork to the limit on the hardtail. My front end, I think something is a little loose on my fork. I don't know what it is. Something feels a little off. And there's some stuff that's upstate that I would have more fun on a full suspension bike. That's all. Just progressing with the full suspension. You can ride everything on a hardtail for sure. I've had my hardtail for 5 or 6 years. So yeah, you can do it. But I've done my time on the hardtail, so I'm ready to get a full suspension. The YT Ezo that just came out, that is a sick bike. Oh. Yeah. Talking about Yeti Sman is saying he has 2 carbon bikes. That's true, man, but still, like, you could probably take some crashes on it. It's just like that whole, like the bike falling down and hitting a rock, that kind of impact, carbon's not there yet. I'm scared of that. Because I don't baby my bikes. I use them like tools, you know what I mean? Like, they get kind of beat up a little bit, So maybe, I'll get the aluminum one, hopefully, and then from there I can move on and get something nicer. Ramen Riders, are you out of here, man? Thanks for coming. He's saying it was a cool stream. Can you show us the trade show? Marlon, yeah, I can show you the part that we do. It's like a 10 to 15 minute spot. I streamed it. Hope we didn't lose anything there. We did. What is going on? Okay, we're back. Hotline in Charleston, South Carolina. Totally. But I'm not traveling anywhere anytime soon. No one wants a New Yorker anywhere. Can't call myself a New Yorker yet. Someone that lives in New York. Brian, you probably don't crash as much when you have camera gear on you. I crash on my mountain bike when I'm filming. Do you consider yourself a safe or reckless rider? I think I stay pretty safe. I don't push the envelope on anything out of my comfort zone too much. Does Seth inspire you? Seth who? I have a younger brother named Seth. Are you talking about him? Or are you talking about Seth's bike hacks? Next time I take a trip to NYC, I'm going to do a Brooklyn only trip. Oh yeah? Come through. You can repair carbon, but if you crack aluminum, it's trash. If I crack carbon or aluminum, they're both going in the trash. I ain't riding repaired carbon. That's sketch, especially on a mountain bike. No, thank you. Favorite backpack you use while riding? I am not a fan of backpacks when it gets warmer. I don't like a big sweaty back. So I like fanny packs. And I'm rocking, I don't have it with me right now. I have a Golden Saddle. It's kind of like a mountain biking like fanny pack. It's like a backpack. It just sits lower on your back. It's like right above your waist. So that's what I like right now. Golden Saddle Cyclery. They're a bike shop. Check them out. Dimitri, missed the part about the trade show. Tomorrow. Shit, what time is it at? I'll tell you exactly what time we'll be on stream. 1:15 to 1:30. We have a 15-minute window. So we will be streaming at 1:15 Eastern time tomorrow. So whatever that time is for you, maybe you'll see a notification, maybe not. It will be after after the morning routine for sure. This is weird, like reading way over here the comments. I have a computer right here, but my other computer's way over here. I should have made the type bigger. Let's see. There we go. Oh, I can read that now. Oh shit. All right. Graham, any more plans for interviews? Yeah, dude. We have Eric Otto in Friday. This Friday, Eric Otto. He's going to give us a tour of his studio and everything he's been going on. So that's going to be cool. The Turkey Burger bar tape is coming soon. Seth's bike hacks, yeah, they're cool. He's cool. I mentioned him yesterday on stream. I said something and it came out wrong. I was saying I didn't necessarily like his personality because he does a lot of voiceovers. I didn't like how kind of corny it was. And then after I watched it, I grew with him as he grew, and I feel like I started to understand him and know him better. And then I was like, oh, I actually like this guy's the way he does his voiceovers. Trail building. No, I do watch his trail building stuff of Burn Peak, but I'm talking more about, I watch a lot of BMX. Dylan Stark, I can show you his stuff. I was put on to watching his stuff by a friend. I've been watching it, and he just does, these like videos where he doesn't talk really at all. It's just like the camera's there with a microphone, and he's just like digging dirt the whole time, and it's like a close-up of like what he's making, and then he shows like when he starts and when he ends, like what it looks like. And I don't know, I'm just learning by watching, you know. Who are you? Who are you, Thomas? The Circles guy? What about the Circles guy? Rich TV, need a suggestion on a camera besides a GoPro or a Sony? Blackmagic. Have you ever ride a Marin bike? I think I had a Marin for a little bit. Or maybe it was a friend's. Not really though. For the interview, it'd be more pleasant to the eye if you make a split screen. I can try that for Eric Autos if you want. I just figure like these interviews are less about me and more about the person I'm interviewing. But yeah, I'll give that a try. That's a good suggestion. I love listening to and reading conspiracy theories. Yeah, it's great stuff. Mike Martin is definitely on the radar for one of these. I gotta get him on the horn, Brian. Do you feel any type of judgment from friends or other people you know for keeping cycling and going out? That's a good one. Yeah, there's definitely some people who everyone's opinion or thoughts on social distancing is, you know, everyone has their own perspective. Even like there's the guidelines that we're told what we should do, and then everyone takes it a step beyond that further or pulls it back slightly from that line, you know? So, yeah, some people take it crazy, like are way crazier and don't leave the house, and those are the type of people who probably don't like to see that I'm going out and still riding my bike. So it's fine. It's fine. Matt Reyes is here with the coffee. Matt, I got my coffee here. I don't know. This is a long stream. Now that Matt Reyes is in the chat, I gotta go. I think Graham is saying everyone is confused and looking for someone to blame. I think it has to do. I don't know. Yeah, there's just people who are all about like ready to just call people out on shit nowadays. I don't know where it started, and I don't like it. There's ways to call people out without doing it like aggressively in public, you know? Like I would never do one of these and be like, fuck this person because of blah blah blah. Like you, in my opinion, you don't handle conflict or things you don't like in that way. You do it, you know, out of the public, There's no reason to shame people, I think, you know? Anyways, that's just my opinion. Brian Novello wants to know how the pizza dough is looking this week. I haven't started a batch. I gotta go get some bread flour. But the pizza I made a couple days ago is pretty good. And then I took a page from Matt Reyes' book, and we ran out of pizza dough, but we had one everything bagel, or two everything bagels left. So we made a pizza bagel, and it was bomb. It was so good. Because we had leftover sauce and leftover grated cheese. And it was good. Ever since the face masks are somewhat mandatory, I found that people have become much more judgmental, off-putting. Well, yeah, now there's a visual indicator to like who's following the rules and who's not, you know? Like if they see someone without a thing, then they're like, you know? It's like easier to see. Before it was like, oh, are you walking too close to people or whatever? Now it's like, you gotta be masked up the whole time. Like this is part of my daily, like when I get dressed to leave the house, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my thing. Gotta go get the bandana. Gabriel Smith, would you ever do a behind the scenes of how you shoot? There's not much to it. I don't know how I would do that. Kind of like how Dustin did it recently. Maybe. I mean, it's pretty simple. And the different videos that I do have different levels of things to them. They're not all the same, so it depends. The hubs are on bearings or balls. I think you mean sealed or unsealed. Those are sealed hubs. Bagels are power for riding the bike. You're absolutely right. Yo, Matt, I was looking at your your stories on Instagram yesterday, and I saw you had the mask and the glasses on. I was like, man, it must be hard to breathe. I wear the mask when I pass people, basically. So like if if I'm riding my bike and I see like a group coming up, I'll just like go like this. You know what I mean? And then I'll pass them real quick and wait for a sec, and then I'll just pull it back down. Yeah, it's hard to keep the whole thing on there. Maybe he means to show behind the scenes of a paid shoot that would require a second camera and to follow you around. Dimitri, or yeah, maybe if he's talking about that, yeah, there's that would be something that I would have to talk to whatever client I'm working with, because there's a bit of like privacy or like a client relation that you wouldn't want to do, like to film something else while filming their thing, because then it would look like I'm not putting all my effort into the real shoot. You know what I mean? I don't think that would work. I would definitely have to have another camera person, and they would have to be, it would like someone else would have to shoot the behind the scenes of me that way. Number of notches. I saw on ABC News that a man passed out during a car ride while wearing a mask. Yeah, for sure. Not enough oxygen, dude. Damn, it's still illegal to ride bikes in Italy. That's a bummer. How am I doing in quarantine? I'm doing good. I'm just sitting here, just me and my bike behind me. Drat, yo, or rat. Scadrat. Glad to get you writing, man. If you have any films you ever want shared in the beginning of these videos, I usually play a video to get everyone in stream. That'd be cool. 360 cam on a pole in your backpack, filming you, filming the helmet cam. Matt, I've thought about doing that actually. Maybe, yeah, I can do that. Oh, like a bandana with a hotline print? Yeah, I can totally do that. What's up, Brooklyn Hood? Philip just did a shout out for doing a Grand Fondo. Boom. That's awesome, man. Keep the miles up or the kilometers up. There was tornado sirens in Japan. That's crazy, dude. Wait, where was it? Are you in Japan, Graham? You said Japanese whiskey. Ever think of an Affinity Hotline collab? Yes, that all got kind of pushed back because everything that's going on. So maybe next time, maybe next year. Tulsa, yeah, that sounds about right. Tulsa has tornadoes going off. All right. It's time for me to go. Hopefully, you guys were mildly entertained with today's morning routine. I like this. We were just chatting and talking, so that was cool. We can do it again tomorrow. So hopefully you found this educational. Hopefully everyone had a good time looking at me, look over here at the chat. If you can, I recommend getting out there, getting some exercise in, riding your bike. Do it in an appropriate way. If you're in New York, remember, don't leave the house without something to cover your nose and mouth. And get some vitamin D and some sun on your skin. And, push some fluids around your body. And feel good tomorrow, today, and yesterday. I'm fucking rambling now. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. There's a video about to go live in 10 minutes. It's called MASH Fifth Ave. It's where I follow my lovely lady friend from the northeast corner of Central Park on Fifth Avenue all the way to Washington Square Park, which is, it's about 106th or so is where we started the film, all the way down to about 8th Ave, 8th. So that's 100 and something streets of New York City. Just me and her, following her with the typical helmet hotline cam style. I'm mic'd up instead of her, so I'm talking a little bit, but it's going live in 10 minutes, so I would appreciate it if you'd stay around and maybe check that video out. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next morning routine. If you can catch the Affinity streamed trade show, then you're welcome to join in and ask some questions. I can field them to him. If not, I'll see you. I'll see you on the next one. Anyways, peace. Thank you.